someone just check the stream is working for me, please?
Yeah, I have it up on the side, but it'll probably confuse me, so I'll kill it up.
Yeah, I'll just kill it once it started. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, looks like we are live. Yes, we are live. Okay, cool. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming along. And if anyone is dialed in, thank you for coming. And it's okay if no one is. What we're going to be doing tonight is running through the beta of the beta of Project Cassandra. This is a game that is currently on Kickstarter. Basically, the premise of the game is you play spies and operatives from the 1960s who have successfully gained psychic powers as a result of CIA experimentation. All of you have characters with backgrounds. The game has all of 3 pages of rules, and basically the premise of the game is there's a single event which could trigger sort of something horrible, could be the end of the world, might not be the end of the world. Very starting scene from season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. And the whole point of the game is injecting yourself into that as the characters and trying to stop the end of the world from happening. So that's the fundamental premise of the game. So what we're going to do really quickly is I'll just get everyone to sort of say, oh, and I like that we've got a bit of Delphic Oracle in the corner there, Nick. Thank you very much. So starting to my, hold on, oh, yep, that way, because it's reverse, to Tom. Tom, who, do you want to just say a quick hello?
Oh, well, hello. So my character today is Camila Santos. She's seems to be some kind of journalist who's super interested in a super secret government project that might be her big break. So that's where we're at. I have powers, but I'm not sure if I should divulge those at this time. You know, just keeping it close.
That is true. And then we're going that way. So that's to Rob playing Delilah or Dahlia.
Dahlia. So I'm playing Dahlia Sarson. She's an African-American woman who's climbed up the ranks through the Secret Service to presidential duties, and now her life has changed as she's been drawn into this team.
And then next we've got Jason playing Sean Whitford.
Yeah, I am. Previously, I was a car lifter. Have a pretty reckless view on life, but that has also meant that I started predicting things a lot sooner than a lot of other people.
And then we've got Van Qua being played by Jess.
Hi, so my character Van Qua is a Hmong shaman and herbalist who's been brought out from my home village, which was in, where am I? Just checking. I think it's Vietnam.
Yes.
And yeah, I've been brought into Project Cassandra because of my powers to connect.
And then we've got Dominic Sundowner being played by Paul.
Dominic, he's quite old. He was one of the original subjects of the Cassandra project. He's got, you know, when the process was less refined, so he's got lots of needle marks in him. And unfortunately, because it wasn't so well refined, he's a bit damaged mentally, and he gets confused quite a lot.
And then last but certainly not least, we've got Keith Tanaka being played by Nick.
Hi. Keith is a career academic and an expert on the Soviet Union. And so for most of my career, I've been walking a fine line between being helpful to the US government and being on a watch list or two. And so I'm pretty stubborn, don't particularly like authority, and very opinionated. It's going to go down well.
Awesome.
It's supposed to be fantasy role playing, right? What's going on?
I know nothing about Soviet Union in my real life.
But but your expertise will no doubt come to advantage. Now, I should just mention, so the game is currently on Kickstarter. It's called Project Cassandra. The lead author and designer and doing all the other things is an awesome guy called Craig Duffy, who's part of the Effect podcast sort of community to which I belong, and I've managed to persuade all these people. Paul also belongs to it, but I persuaded all these people to come along and play it. And he's also working with MZ Whisker, and I hope I've said that correctly. I'm terrible at accents and names, but I think that's right. So what we're going to quickly do is just run through the most basic understanding of the rules, and then we're going to crack on and play the game. So I've got two things to talk through then, and the first one is I'll just explain how skills work in the game, and I'll just show this to all of you so you can all see it. It'll be a bit big on your screen, sorry about that. You can always resize it to make it a bit better sized. So basically in Project Cassandra, the rules are really simple. So you have a character sheet, which I'll explain in a second. That's the second thing I'm going to do. But GMs don't roll dice, GMs set difficulty. The difficulty is the number of successes required to succeed at a particular activity. The player proposes what skill they're going to use, or players propose what skills they're going to use. If they've already used that skill once, then it will have a rank. If they haven't used that skill once, then it won't have a rank, and they get a pool of ranks that they can apply. So they can just cross off a skill. So you build out your character as you play the game, which is cool, right? Because, and I was listening to Craig talk about this, about his basic thinking, and it's awesome. So when you're doing one-shots or short campaigns, you'll design your character without really knowing what's about to happen, and then you'll find yourself suddenly with skills that are not relevant to the game that you're playing. Obviously, pre-gens get around that, but pre-gens are also very structured and you get no freedom. So this is sort of a beautiful middle way between those two approaches, which is really cool. Then the character, so if the character has a skill, they've got a rank. If the character doesn't have a skill, they select a rank for that skill off their character list. They apply it. Then they describe what they're going to do, and then they roll. They roll 6 dice if they've got a skill above 0, or if they've applied 0 to the skill, they only roll 4 dice. A success is a number equal to or less than the skill rank. So if you've got skill 4 in a skill and you roll 6d6, every d6 that rolls 4 or under is a success. And that's really as complex as it gets. In addition to that, if you need extra successes, you can do 2 additional things to sort of claw them back. The first of these is you can choose to take a single consequence, and so you can apply a consequence to your character. In return for that, you get 1 success, so it's very similar in model to Things from the Flood and Tales from the Loop kind of structures, where you're pushing, you're burning a condition, and you get dice. Or you can use a premonition point. And if you use a premonition point, you can roll all of it's exactly like the push mechanic out of Free League. So you roll the dice that have not been successes to see if they add. So that's really how difficult it is. If you succeed, 2 thumbs up. If you fail, usually the result is you failed, and that's the end of it. In limited circumstances, it'll be a condition. So it will result in a condition that I would then apply to your character as a result. So that's how complex skill rolling is. There are a few little nuances to that. For instance, if you've got a condition, I can take a condition away. I can effectively give you back a condition, but then when you've burnt the premonition point, you have to re-roll all the dice, not just the ones that were successful. So that's one thing. And the second thing is you have on your character sheet little square brackets around 2 points of premonition. When you tick off those, you have a vision of the future. And when you have a vision of the future, you set something in stone in the future that is a thing that will happen. So you can determine, in a sense, this is a narrative game. I've got some vision for what vision. I've got an idea of how this is going to work, but you guys actually, through that action, can inflect the way the module actually runs and change the trajectory of things. So that's quite an important thing. The second thing is, so I'll just quickly show the basic character sheet as well, and you've all got one of these. So exactly as I was just describing. So, and there's a second sheet which gives you the background of the character. I've ignored that for this. I just want to talk very quickly. You've got 3 pools of skills: specialist, mental, and physical. We had to sort of work this out. Like I said, this is a playtest within a playtest, and we've hacked it a little bit. So Craig has character creation rules coming out with the Kickstarter, which I did not have access to. So I've made some extra characters without access to those, so I've guessed. But that skill pool up the top was the skills that I was talking about earlier. So you cross off a 0 and you put it on a skill. You've got skills that are specialist to you. You've got mental and you've got physical. They don't neatly line up. They're a bit narrative in structure. So you have some skills that have the same name, and then you have other skills that will be slightly different. You have your premonitions, so you have premonitions to burn for specialist, and then you have premonitions to share between mental and physical, and that's for your successes. You have a power, a psychic power. Each of you has one. Who's this? This is Delilah, isn't it? Because it's the one too many power. So she can create duplicates of herself, but she has to burn 2 premonitions to do so. If she wants to create even more duplicates, she crosses off more premonitions. And it's all very narrative. So that's all the description of the powers. If the characters can come up with interesting ways to use their powers or describe them, then they do. You have knowledges and you have 2 pieces of gear. Works very similarly. When you encounter a need for a piece of gear, you can sort of declare it, a la Forged in the Dark sort of mechanic from Blades in the Dark. The conditions are down the bottom. That is it. That's all we're going with. Are there any questions from any of the players before we crack on? Everyone's cool. Everyone actually read the PDFs. Awesome. That's exciting. And I just want to say, not my usual experience in my work life, so it's lovely. All right. So we'll go to the vision, if we may. And I will just show it to all of you. So the whole thing is you are already inducted into Project Cassandra. So you're already part of the Project Cassandra group. Which is a secret organization within the secret organization within the CIA. You have powers. I will just flag, they're meant to be secret. So there will be repercussions if you start hurling powers around in the middle of open territory in front of lots of people, because that's not how spies work. However, you've all come together and you find yourself on the Amtrak between New York and Washington, D.C. And the reason you're there is because you've all had the same vision. And so that vision is this. So and you're not looking at it through your own eyes. That's an important point. So a small child collapses in front of you. Something is wrong with them, and you're just not sure what it is, but they seem to be struggling for breath. They were just about to board a Greyhound bus to somewhere. They're African American and probably no older than 10. Their wheezing, gasping voices is joined in a chorus as other passengers collapse around you. In your hands, you can see a radio transmitter that you've just activated, and you can hear your own voice trembling, screaming for help. Your hand seems delicate and feminine, and you're wearing a wedding ring of white gold. Okay, so before we step into what actually is about to happen, all of you had a question that I put to you, which was meant to represent your specific insight. And so before the action hits, as it were, we're just going to very quickly go through those questions. And what I'm looking for is for you guys to sort of inform how you think that question applies, right, to the vision that you've seen. And I assigned a question per person just for the sake of ease. So the first one was, the bus was going somewhere. Who was driving it and where was it heading? And Jason, the way I'm playing this is each of you's got a slightly different perception or memory of the vision. And so this is meant to represent that slight variance, right? Like, what did you see, Jason? What did you see re the bus and the driver, and where was it heading?
Okay. I saw a Caucasian man driving the bus.
Yep.
I could see the sun setting, so I know that the bus was driving west.
Okay, and also you've just declared that it was happening in the late afternoon or evening. or early evening, and it was driving west. Yep. Could you see the, like, I mean, it's a bus, so it's got the thing up the front or a number, or can you see anything like that in the vision?
I can see the number 3 on the top of the bus.
Okay, which is a partial number,
Mm.
if it's the number 3. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up to the rest of you. Was there anything else that any of you might have seen about the bus? So Jason's kind of set the strongest structure. So were there any other points that anyone else would like to bring up about what the bus looks like or anything like? Okay.
It's delayed, but it seems to be working.
All right, let's see if that's better. It looks like, well, the message has gone away, so I'll have to work on the assumption that that's better. No, it's still saying the same thing. Wow.
It was coming up when we were doing Alien, and the stream was fine. I think it's just a bit finicky.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see there's some comments here from a few people saying there's a short delay.
Between the voice and the...
There's about a minute
Oh
delay.
no, they said about no, they're saying it's audio freezes every 8 seconds, so for about 11 seconds.
Okay. I don't think there's much.
Welcome to Australian internet.
Yes, it does seem to be lag.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just... No, anyway, it is what it is.
And then someone says they've got the 8 to 10 second lag. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's Bruce, but he's in Scotland.
You can do what you can do.
Yeah, it's Bruce and he is in Scotland.
I checked it. It is literally about 10 seconds behind.
As in the audio's 10 seconds behind?
Well, the audio seems fine in terms of people's lip sync, but...
Oh, no, it's meant to be delayed. Oh, no, it's meant to be delayed. Oh, no, as long as it's... Okay, all right, that's fine. We'll just go with it. I mean, it is what it is, and,
I should have been playing clown music during that.
You should have. That would have been awesome. All right, so... anyway, we're here to play a game, and, if it doesn't work, then so be it. We'll still play the game. So, you all have a chance to act. So, can I just ask you, what are you doing?
All right. I'm half pulling out a gun, and I'm assessing the threat around us to try and work out where the shooter is, and if there's any other shooters.
All right. So you've whipped out like a standard 9mm or something like that, I assume.
Yep.
And you're scanning around looking for threats. That sounds like that might be the first opportunity to use a skill, Rob.
Like threat assessment.
Like threat assessment, a
Indeed.
skill you actually have.
I'm going to put a 3 on it because I think it's important.
I do not even have that skill.
Me either.
Yeah, no.
No,
I'm digging for my camera, by the way, while this is happening.
All right, so would you care to roll 6 dice, Rob, and tell us how many successes you get?
Sure. So this means that I have a specialist of 2 and a threat assessment of 3, so my target is 5 or less?
No,
right,
it's just the skill. It's just the skill.
All right. So what is my difficulty?
You tell me how many successes you got.
Oh, your flowchart didn't have it that way round.
I have, well, it didn't say that on the flowchart.
Yeah,
what the target was. I have 2 6s, a 3, a 2, and 2 1s.
So a 3, a 2, and 2 1s is 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah.
All right, so that's huge. All right, so you're scanning around. You look out through the window, and you can see someone sort of on the other end of the boarding or the platform. Probably about 5 yards away, to use American, imperial measurements. Still the funniest thing on the
freedom
planet.
Units.
Sorry, Americans.
To quote our man from Alaska, freedom units. So in freedom units, it's about five or so yards away, and they've got a silenced pistol. They're wearing the classic sort of peaked 1950s, early 1960s cap. hats, and
Yeah.
they've just popped off a shot, and you've instantly picked them out of the crowd, right? There's a bunch of people around them, but you've just
It's my job.
it's straight through.
That's amazing.
All right. Does anyone else want to do anything immediately?
Yeah,
you
I'm
call
looking
this-
for my camera.
Do you call this out to the team? I'm assuming we're a team, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I call it out. I point in their direction.
All right. If I can see them, I'm going to, because I'm going to slide down and start running, and I'm going to head in their direction along the Amtrak using a premonition to phase through the wall.
So
We're
you're
in public.
gonna
No,
sprint.
no. Not like coming out of the Amtrak. I want to basically run down the Amtrak and just basically not getting blocked.
Okay, so you basically want to use a little bit of your power to sort of slip past people more efficiently.
Yeah. So
you're
it
mostly
just
gonna
looks like I'm
step
being
out of the way.
efficient. Yeah.
You're mostly going to be stepping out of people's way and a little bit maybe fading through their arm.
Yeah. So they will go, oh, whatever. It just looks like I'm being quite dexterous.
Okay,
Nice,
awesome,
nice.
awesome. What skill would you? What skill do you think that is?
So this one is going to be athletics,
Nice.
right? So I am going to basically put a I'll put a 2 in this. No, I'll put a 3 in this. So I'm putting a 3 in this, and so my intent is to get over behind the guy effectively and come out of the Amtrak at another door and try and take him down.
Okay.
So, but this is my long-term plan.
All right. Go
Alrighty,
for it.
so bring on the dice. All right, I have got 3 2s and 2 6s and a 5, so 3 successes.
So 3 successes. All right. So you slip around and past people, and just lightly. Now, if you want, what you can use the premonition point for is for an extra success. So you can make that 4 successes if you want. Is basically the message.
Don't you need to fire it off to use your power too, though?
Like I burnt it anyway, right?
Well, yes. So you
Yeah,
can have
so
an extra.
sure.
I'm basically saying you can have an extra
4 successes.
success.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you dive over and around people, and you run down, and it's like slip and slip and slip, and you like a salmon, shooting upstream. You move between the people, trying to get off the train in a quite hurried way because the window shattered, right? So they didn't hear the bullet, but they definitely heard the window shatter. So people are worried about what's happened, and people are getting up. They don't realize that the guy's taken an injury. But they're doing that. Does anyone else want to declare any actions?
I'm going to start to take photos of this guy, if I can.
Right, so you've pulled out your camera and you're snapping away.
Yep.
Nice.
That's
I'm
my
gonna
job.
drop down and check on this man who's bleeding. Is he actually alive?
Yeah.
And can I administer first
Somebody actually
aid?
taking care of him.
You can attempt to administer first aid. He is definitely badly injured. He's been shot in the chest with a reasonable caliber pistol. So yeah, he's had better days.
Alright. I am going to put a 2 on first aid.
Okay.
That's one of my skills.
So that means you
Cool.
will roll 2 or less to get a success, to be clear.
Yeah. Okay, 2 or less. I've got 2 successes.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Nice.
All right, so you can stop him from bleeding out, which is probably the most important thing that you do. He's clearly, he's obviously an older man, and he's been quite badly injured. The sign that you've got of this is that he's going to need quite significant medical attention soon, right? Like you don't have beyond putting pressure on the wound. There's not much you can do at this point.
This is like me, just like I've got my kit with me all the time. I'm packing his wound and hopefully stopping him from bleeding to death.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. All right, so you do that, and the So you're doing that. So just to place now. So I'll just quickly check in. So Delilah is covering through the window. Keith has raced sort of up the train because that's probably the fastest way to get to the guy. Vanquois is doing first aid on the conductor. So Camilla, you're taking photos. So that just leaves Sean and Dominic. So Sean, what are you doing?
I am racing out a lot less dexterously.
Okay.
Just muffling
But
through.
yeah.
Banging through people.
And can I just
Yeah.
be clear, Sean? Do you lift invisible cars?
Do you even lift?
Oh, that was
I invisibly lift cars.
nice. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you doing? What are you doing, Sean?
I'm muscling my way through the crowd to get as fast straight at this person. I'm not necessarily trying to hide the fact that I'm racing straight at this guy.
Yep.
I'm going path of least resistance, or the fastest path, not
So
necessarily.
can I just be very clear that my intent was to, because I slid out of the seat,
Yeah.
was him not to see me.
Yep. You sort
He's
of duck
focusing
down.
on this area. I've gone that way, trying to
Yep.
be sneaky-ish.
Yep. Sneaky-ish. Okay, Sean, do you want to declare what skill you think that you're going to be using to do
Yeah,
this?
I think I'm going to be using my reckless skill.
Okay, so hold on. So are you diving out the window?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're smashing
Oh,
through the
right.
window.
Okay. All right. So you're just diving
Right.
straight out the window onto the platform.
Yep.
Are you? What skill are you going to give that, Sean? Is that going to be the biggie? Is that going to be a biggie for you?
I think that one's going to be a 3.
Wow. Okay. I like the way
Yeah.
there's already an economy building up around the application of skill points.
Yeah.
I'm just going to note that there's everyone's like, I'll do a 3 or a 2. Like no one's gone, yep, 4. Because you don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll need that 4 for something else.
Just maybe.
I'm
I can feel
building
it.
for a big dramatic finish
I
towards
can
this
feel
with
it. I
4.
can feel the
Yeah.
skill economy already stepping up. All right, so Sean, roll your
Okay.
reckless as you dive out the window.
And so I
towards
want
this guy.
less than the number here.
Equal to or less. Equal
Equal
to
to
or less.
or less.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 2 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you can dive out the window with 2 successes, I guess. So I can't really see why you can't. So you leap out the window, and there's like people everywhere, right? Like it's Washington D.C. This is the train from New York. It's packed to the gunwales with humans, and it's emptying out onto the platform. There's people everywhere. You can see the guy sort of sees you. He clearly picks you as you dive out through the window towards him, and he starts to draw a bead on you. Dominic, what are you going to do, buddy?
Can Dominic see this guy?
Yes, because Delilah, who picked him straight out of a crowd, has given this incredible sort of, he's right there and you all instantly focus on this guy, almost like a consensus brain is operating. It's like, just for a second, you all click in perfectly and he's gone, it's right, that guy, and you've all seen the same person at the same moment.
Dominic is going to close his eyes and think.
Okay.
And while he's doing this, he's going to use 2 premonition points and use his power.
Right.
And Dominic's power is, do you really want to know? And what it allows Dominic to do is project a fear into another's mind. And what he's doing is, in this man's mind, he's projecting a vision of the guy being hit by a train.
Okay.
And the effect of this.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it, or do you want to do it, Thomas? Sorry.
No, you go, buddy. No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
The effect of this, it says, is the target is unable to do anything other than shake in fear and attempt to process the madness they feel.
Yeah.
Nice. Just got hacked.
Dominic's not really a very healthy person internally, and he's got a way of sharing that with a lot of other people. Right, okay. So Dominic, you look out the window and you close your eyes and you all see Dominic's like forehead start to bead with sweat. Well, those of you who are still near him see Dominic's forehead start to bead with sweat, and you all feel a sort of wash of the fear. Like you're not the subject of it, but you're all sensitives, right? So you can all, and this is one of the problems with Dominic for the rest of you, is you can feel that when you're near Dominic, right? And yes, just like that. So you all sort of fringe, you all sort of want to move away from Dominic a bit, and then you see the guy, and it's Camilla and Dahlia, and Sean and Keith to a lesser extent, but particularly Sean, I guess, because you've dived right out there in the power. He's like, his whole body sort of crumples sideways. It's like he's actually been hit by something. Like you see his whole body sort of go
Nice.
crumple sideways like that, and then he sort of collapses onto the ground for just a moment, and it's like he's paralyzed by this. He feels like he's been hit by a train. Like that's actually how he feels. So he feels like he's been smashed down by a train, and he's like lying on the ground for a second, crushed under the front of this train. And he's fallen to the ground, and the pistol has dropped out of his hands as a result.
Can I ask a quick rules question before you go on, Thomas?
We're absolutely making these rules up, so go for
it. So it says 2 premonitions.
Yeah.
Do I decide whether they come out as specialist or mental physical?
So I was originally thinking they should come out as specialist because that felt like the right answer, right?
Yeah.
But actually, look, it's an economy. You can choose where you want them to come from, but you tick them off from the bottom, right? So you
starting at 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking them off of specialist then, because that was the way my brain went. Same as yours.
Yeah, that was how I was going to run it, but when I talked to Craig after this game, he'll probably tell me exactly how it was meant to run, and I should have really asked before we ran. But anyway, whatever. Let's move on. Okay, embarrassment for us. So the guy's fallen over, and crunched, and he's like got a nosebleed from the physical side effects of the level of fear that he's just suffered. Now Keith and Sean. So Keith and Sean, right? Okay, so Keith, you pop out of the side door of the thing, of the carriage. Step over the open thing. That you've got the sounds and the smells of the train station. You can hear trains, coming in and leaving. There's people everywhere. There's the sound of footsteps as people are moving really quickly. You can see a couple of people moving towards this guy. He's collapsed on the ground. Because he's just suddenly fallen over, right? Like no one noticed. You guys noticed, but no one else noticed that he was popping people off with a gun. And you can see a couple of people rushing towards him, sort of, oh my God, are you okay? Have you had a heart attack or something? And that's what you see.
Right, so I'm going to use like an authoritative voice and say, out of the way, medical personnel coming through. And what I want to do is I want to bustle up and cover the guy and pick up the gun and stash it.
Yep.
Right? And then sort of
click, 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 click.
Sicko.
And then, I'm in the train still.
And then I'm gonna pick him up, and move him over to a bench or something, and push people out of the way to sit him on the bench.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what do you want to use for the sort of commanding voice, getting people to do what you want them to do?
So that's persuasion.
Cool. Sounds like persuasion to me.
Rightio. And I'm gonna drop another 3 in persuasion.
Yeah.
Not gonna burn the 4 yet.
Yep. There are 3 4s. I will just point that out. I think there's 3, isn't there?
There are 1 4 on my skill sheet.
Yeah,
okay. 1 4.
Different people.
Oh, I should have read the character sheets way more.
No, I have. Yeah, no, I also have 1 4.
All right. Okay, that explains.
But 3 3s.
Yeah.
That's why
I've only got 2 3s.
2 3s.
So
2
I
3s.
suck
Sorry,
more than
2
you.
3s. No, you're right.
It's all the same. We're all cashing in our skill points. What's going on?
Yeah, it's
All
like
right.
Yeah,
So-
everyone's the same as far as what skill points they got.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So roll.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yep.
Alrighty. So I have got 3 3s and a 4, a 6, and a 6.
And you put 3 on it, so that's 3 successes. Okay, so you yell at the top of your voice, and a whole stack of people are like, oh, someone in authority, right? So
Bystander effect.
that's right. It's like someone in authority. And it looked that, yeah, so people are move quickly out of the way, and okay, sure, they say, and people are getting out of your way quite quickly. There's you can quickly stash the gun sort of into a pocket on your jacket that you've got on, and you can start to lift the guy up just as Sean reaches you. Sean, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna make sure that the area is clear
Of what people?
of people. Yep. Everyone, get back! Get out of the way!
Andre the Giant. Everybody move!
Yes.
This is a robbery.
Okay, so all right, so you're doing that. So you both basically heft the guy up and head him out of the way, right?
Hmm.
We
Right.
try and find like the gents
Yep.
or some sort of closed off area.
Okay, cool. So when you do that, you're lifting him up. You're still taking photos, are you?
Well, I'm in the train, but I mean, everyone else is. Oh, actually, is Fang still on the ground with the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
There's 3 of us still in the train.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We should.
2
so,
people doing something and a paparazzi.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm not taking pictures of him. I'm just looking around. What's the condition of the train? Like, is all the passengers have left, or I mean, we've obviously got a sick
No, well,
man
they're
here.
leaving, but I mean, this is happening in
Yeah,
in
that's
30
fine, that's
seconds, right? So yeah.
Just need to we need to find a doctor for this man, but we can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking out. We can see
So we
that Sean.
desperately need an ambulance.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
I can run outside of the train and just get someone to take care of him, but we need to regroup with the team and get the guy right. And we need to don't forget our vision. That's the key.
yeah.
Okay, I'll run outside. I'm looking for like a tent, like someone to say, hey, there's to say there's a man who's injured in the train, so that we can let that go and get onto this thing.
Okay.
I've still got my camera out. I look like a reporter. It's my deal.
Okay, so you're doing that. Are the rest of you now leaving the train as well? So Dominic, Fanqua, what are you guys doing?
I'm actually stepping out of the train
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I'm basically trying to assume a position of authority on the platform.
Okay. So have you got the pistol out still?
No, I put the pistol away. Don't want to panic people.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, Dominic, you were going to say.
As Dominic comes out of his little thug, he starts patting down and shuffling through his pockets and pulling out various bits and pieces. And Dominic's going to do a weird science roll to see if he can jury rig something to save this guy's life.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to stick, because it's probably going to come in handy later, I am actually going to stick 4 in weird science.
Nice. I endorse this decision.
Well, he is the mad scientist.
Absolutely.
All right. Here's this defibrillator I prepared earlier.
Well, basically, it's sort of, it's the old cut the nib off the pen and do a tracheotomy type stuff.
Only with weird
Yeah.
shit. Only with weird
Oh, look,
shit.
you're going to do the twisty
Yeah.
packet that's strapped to his chest with 3 sides sealed.
Yeah, MacGyver that
it.
stuff.
Okay.
Even though we're like 20 years before MacGyver, you're like the first MacGyver.
I rolled a 6, 2 5s, a 4, a 2, and a 1. So I think that's 3 successes.
3 successes.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, is he dead?
It was lucky.
Fine success.
No, I'm helping. I'm helping now. It's all fine. Everything's
What I was
fine.
doing. I forgot.
Everything's fine. Okay. Okay, you need 1 extra success. So do you want to use premonition? Do you want to burn a point of premonition to get a reroll for the dice that didn't get a success, or do you want to take a condition and get an automatic success?
I will take a condition because I think he's just been in a car that's been shot. He is already a bit unhinged, so
Sure.
I am going to take paranoid as a condition.
Nice. Look, I think it's important that everyone ticks paranoid at least once in this session. And if you don't, then I will feel that you've let the whole tea down. I'm just making that point. Okay, cool. You take the extra. So you're feeling. So maybe this is how it works, right? So you're doing this thing that does indeed allow his lung to inflate and de-inflate safely, which is good because it was punctured, and that's very bad because he was filling his chest cavity, and so many ways that's not such a good thing. But at the same time, you also catch just a moment of the assassin or the attempted assassin's thoughts, right? So, and the thing that you sense, the thing that you can tell, is that this guy, he's absolutely the sort of person. There's a disembodied head appearing on the screen. He's absolutely the sort of person who carries guns and shoots people for a living. However, just for a moment, you feel like there's someone else there. Like, so it's like he's being watched.
Telepresence.
Sorry? Yes.
Telepresence.
Yes. Could be.
We don't know this, right? We're all still. I'm
Yeah.
still running off the.
So you are being watched.
So this is why I've stepped out of the train to assess what's happening outside.
Okay, so what you can see is your two colleagues, Keith and Sean, have grabbed the guy and are taking him out of the crowd towards the sort of middle of the platform. You know how the middle of the platform's sort of the quiet bit because you've got the people sort of departing from the two trains on each side, and then there's the middle bit where people are just sitting. So they've sort of taken him to one of the chairs in the middle.
Most exposed part of the platform.
Yeah.
What the
hell? You've seen Dominic sort of doing something in the train. You've got Vanquire, what are you doing?
You're on mute.
Yeah. So I need to get him stabilized, and yeah, I can't really leave until he's
okay. Well,
he
is now stabilized, thanks to Dominic's weird contraption that he put on his chest.
Yeah. I might haul in a bystander and tell them to like apply pressure here and stay here while I go and get the ambulance. And
okay.
This is freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've grabbed someone just from the crowd, and basically, this short Asian woman in the 1960s looks at
with
one of these
bad English.
with
like,
very bad English.
Press here.
You know, gives that command and then runs out of the train, leaving the guy behind. Okay, so you guys have carried the guy up. Now, Dahlia, I don't know. You're trying to take in everything that's happening on the platform.
If in doubt, I prioritize scanning high shooter points as well.
Okay. Well, there's not really any of those here. Like it's sort of quite covered.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to sort of shoot down into, if that makes sense.
All right.
But you do see, and I will now ask you to make another. I think it's actually going to be tactical thing again. It could be the most useful.
Threat assessment.
Yeah, threat assessment.
Absolutely.
Yep. So you can make another threat assessment roll.
I have 3 successes. So a 1, 3, 3, 2 5s, and a 4.
Okay. You see just off to the corner. So these guys are all focused on this one guy, right? And then there's a bunch of people focused on the injured guy. So you're the only one who's sort of taking in the broader aspect of the crowd. Camilla is also possibly taking this in as well.
Yep.
You see another person moving quite deliberately towards the team that have picked up the guy and taken him to the bench. It's another sort of
dodgy
almost
looking
innocuous.
fella.
Well, he's kind of innocuous, actually. This guy is particularly innocuous. So he's just wearing, you know, sort of standard civilian clothes, but he's reaching into his pocket to get something out.
Do I think it's some kind of? So I want to use my streetwise skill.
Yep.
To figure out what, like, to figure out what's going on in terms of, is he reaching for a weapon? You know, the kind of thing you pick up, the way people sort of move when they're trying to do stuff. I've got 3 points in streetwise. I've decided that.
Roll away.
3s or lower. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. 1, 2. Oh my God, I have 2 successes. I rolled 3 6s, for Christ's sake. I should be playing Alien. Anyway, I rolled a 1 and a 2, a 5 and 3 6s. So 2 successes. That's probably enough.
He's probably reaching for something in his.
Oh, duh.
Well, so he's not projecting any sense of threat.
Yeah. Okay.
It's actually so.
Like
He's a psychopath.
Exactly.
Yes, that's it.
That's what I mean.
Totally
right?
normal.
So he's not showing any sign of anger or any of that sort of stuff. He's just moving very deliberately towards them.
Yeah.
But he's very clearly moving very deliberately towards them.
So if there's anyone, is Dahlia there nearby to see me? I need to indicate to someone.
Well, I'm going to be closing anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I don't know of the threat unless you tell me, I suppose.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, as long as you're close.
So you
enough.
see Dahlia because you're inside the train looking out the window.
Yeah, cool. So
you
I'm
see Dahlia
you know,
going almost right in front of your vision, right?
Yeah,
because they're peeling in front of you and heading towards the guy.
So if I can make you aware or something, well, I mean, you're already going to the guy, but I'm like, he's suspicious, and I also.
Because I don't know whether he's a threat or not. I'm assuming a threat.
He doesn't feel. He does something. He doesn't feel like a threat, but. He feels like a threat. I don't know how to explain it. So I want to also sneak up, but again, using streetwise to kind of casually get close so that I don't look like Dahlia and I are moving towards him.
All right. So he's not paying any attention to you guys at all. He's moving like
shit.
He's moving.
I'm going to move through the crowd very quickly.
Okay.
I'm going to use athletics.
I'm doing it casually.
All right. So you're basically going to start running.
Yeah, but I'm trying to do it unobtrusively. I do 2 successes for that.
Okay, and Sean and Keith, do you have a skill that you think would be appropriate for sort of perception or observing some threat approaching?
Yeah, I mean, I've got streetwise.
Yeah, so streetwise is sort of a mixture of like being rough and tumble in the street, but also knowing how the streets operate, right? So it's a little bit of everything, but it's not really a broad observation skill.
Yeah.
No.
I'm we're heading
I know how pistols
for a
work. I have a specific
I can see in front of me a closed door, right?
Yep.
And because there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, people aren't really focused on us. So I've got physical contact with Sean and myself and the dude. The door's locked. I look around.
You can phase through?
And I'll just phase us all through the locked door.
Fuck, nice. You're burning here premonition points, buddy.
I know.
All right. So,
well, if it's locked, right? I'm guessing it's locked because the point is I'm trying to get this guy into a safe, secure space.
Yep. All right. So you basically grab Sean and the guy.
Well, we're kind of carrying him like this, right? So I can just grab hold of Sean and the guy,
and then
take it around.
9 3/4. You're 9 3/4.
9 3/4 this shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Did anyone bring an owl? Anyone have an owl?
Or a rat. Don't trust the rat. The rat is not your friend. Okay. Okay. So yep. So there's a door, and you're just punching through it. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Knock off the premonition and punch through the door.
Cool.
So you do that, and you guys find yourself in a small, dark sort of maintenance cupboard, right? Like second time for the day, everyone. So sorry, when we ran a game earlier today, they teleported us to a maintenance cupboard. So it's you know,
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. It's a growing.
And they're actually all quantumly entangled. So
yeah,
actually one maintenance cabinet.
In all seriousness, quantum entanglement was part of that conversation. So you know, look,
it was.
No one flip any coins.
I'm not going to say that it's not a possibility. Okay, so that's now happened. You guys have punched through. Dahlia, you rolled how many athletic successes? Sorry.
4.
Right. Wow. Okay. You're basically so where Keith was like the sort of salmon, going upstream deep, or maybe the minnow diving between things. You're like
A Secret Service agent doing their job.
yeah.
Very innocuous.
You're like a 13th century warhorse, right? Like it's like smashing people left, right, and center as you smash through the crowd. Get down! Sort of scene. The guy was completely focused on these 3 people until a second ago when they ceased to be there. So they've now disappeared from his vision because they've disappeared into the room.
Is he still focused? Like he hasn't come out of a daze or anything
No,
like
well,
that?
he was focused. He was very much focused. As soon as they disappear, he sort of shakes his head for a second, and then looks around in confusion as you.
Nice.
What do you do? What do you do?
I mean, you're
Excuse
right
me,
there.
so I wish to, may I have a word, please?
Okay.
In an authoritative, commanding voice using command.
Oh, okay.
I get
sure.
my camera out again. Click, 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 click.
You're going to get lots of action shots of people
This
doing
is just
stuff,
for the
aren't you?
case, man. It's nothing suspicious. Just
Nothing
a report.
Your camera is
Alright.
like the the revolver in any western. It just never runs out of film, does it?
Hey. There's 36 photos. I've taken 12.
All right, I am actually going to put a 3 on my command,
Okay. All right.
which is a good thing because I got 3.
You got 3 successes.
I rolled 3 6s and a 2 and a 1 and a 3.
Nice. Okay. You he goes,
Sit down there and we'll have a chat.
okay, wow, okay, and he does. He sits down there and looks at you.
Excellent.
Like, where are we? Who are you? Why am I on the platform?
I'm platform security. What is your name, sir?
The African American woman in a suit on platform security. Anyway, I've really upgraded platform security at the moment. Anyway,
These are troubling times, sir.
I wasn't doing anything. I was I
just
must have been
asking your
catching
name,
the
sir.
train home. I must have been catching the train home.
I'm-
Keith.
Yeah.
My name is Keith.
Okay, Keith.
Yeah.
All right, Keith.
Keith Watson. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Mr. Watson. Do you remember
Sorry, Paul.
what?
Very convincing. Very
The
convincing.
last time. Sorry. Do you remember how you got here?
What do you mean? I must have been on my way home. It's the only possible explanation. And you can see. Have you got any psychological skills?
Interrogation, intimidation.
Not really. Those are the beating.
Well, it'll have a psychological impact.
Sure.
That's right.
They're more the getting information out of people proactively
Correct.
rather than reading people softly, gently.
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, though, I would assume Dominic and Vanquois and actually Camilla have sort of joined you by this point. They've all sort of come out. The other two have disappeared, like because you guys didn't see where they went. You were all focused on the
Right.
second person. They've disappeared completely.
So I
but-
just want some people to examine you for a moment, if you don't mind. Just some medical practitioners, some doctors.
Yep.
They'll help you with your confusion right now.
Okay. So, do any of you have any psychological related skills, like people?
I do. I've got
Oh.
sense motive.
You do have sense motive. This is a beautiful skill, if I do say so myself, as the author
Yeah.
of said skill. Okay. Vanquois, would you like to make a sense motive check?
Yes, I'm going to make that a 2 skill, and let's see how we go. Oh, so that's 1, 2. I got 3 successes.
Wow.
Nice.
Jeez, that's good. Okay. You guys are on fire. So he is clearly bloody confused about why he's here. But something is happening as you talk to him. He is constructing an explanation for himself
Yeah.
to understand why he's here.
Right.
Right? So he's creating a narrative to
Someone was
explain
controlling him.
He's
why he's
backfilling.
here, right?
Right.
He was a string puppet.
Yeah. But like deliberate. Oh, I'm not there, am I?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you
Oh,
are.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you are.
But like, is he? I can use a skill for this, right? I'm
All
going
right.
to use.
I'm
oh,
gonna do a traditional medicine assessment on him.
Right.
nice.
Okay, you do that. Tom, what were you going to
I'm
do?
going to use deduction while he's trying to construct his story
Okay.
to
And-
see what I've got. 2 points. 2 points.
And Dominic, did you want to reflect on anything that might be happening here?
Can I wait to see what Camilla?
Yep.
I look at Camilla and see what Camilla's doing, and,
Yeah.
and think,
Yep.
yeah, it looks fine.
So,
I'll
so
just
my
hold them for a minute.
yeah, my thought is that is he constructing a reason? Is he doing? I need to come up with a story constructing, or is he doing? I just woke up and I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here and like trying to rationalize it. So is he
Yep.
faking a story or is he rationalizing a story? That's what
Okay.
I'm trying to deduce
Okay.
with my two. With your
two that you put on
points.
it.
I've got premonitions. I think.
No,
use.
look, I respect it.
I roll a 1, 2 2s, and then crap. So 3 successes.
Wow.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's heaps. You guys are smashing it out of the park here. He is definitely in the. He's building a narrative for him to understand why he's
So
here.
rationalizing.
He's
Mhm.
rationalizing why he suddenly finds himself in the middle of a platform going to a place he doesn't need to go to.
So I glance to Dominic and I just kind of, shake my head. It's like he doesn't know why he's here.
So, just a thing about the sort of psychic rules here. We all know this, or just do we need to verbally communicate it?
Oh no, you need to verbally communicate. You are not
Communicate.
telepaths.
But in that case, my knowledge is psychic abilities.
It is.
You possess deep knowledge on the use and manipulation available to empowered psychics. Once per session, you can introduce a fact about this topic drawn from your prior experiences.
You can.
And the interesting thing is, because we've gelled as a team, we get a very vague glimpse of what Camilla just thought.
Nice. You can tell from my expression, like disappointed that he doesn't seem. Oh no, you can't tell if I.
Yeah, but as a team, we're all sort of got this little semi-psychic link,
I mean, I've always felt that way.
and it's just a twitch that says, "No, he's not a threat." Sort of that, not the whole narrative, but just an idea.
Hmm.
Is that fair, Thomas?
Yeah.
Don't want to bend the game.
No,
Yes,
you
you
can
do.
bend that's
Yes, you
the whole point.
Yeah.
You can bend the game a little bit, right? This is the thing. You can inflect. Right? So think of it as inflection, yeah? So everyone has got the ability to just tweak things.
So are you just burning if he burns a premonition point, he can.
Well,
do
no,
that,
this
problems,
is actually
right?
just an ability. So each of you can use, you can introduce one fact. So
Yeah.
Paul, just,
Oh, it's your rectangle. It's your square bracket.
no, it's his
No,
knowledge.
it's the
It's
knowledge.
the knowledge.
It's the knowledge. So if you look under power, there's knowledge.
Yeah, I've got it. Oh,
Yeah.
1%. I didn't read the last line as per usual.
So our auras are intertwined like a giant Venn diagram.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Got it.
All right.
only because we've been working together for so long.
Yep.
course,
So
of course.
there's
I've
smaller
not been here that
elements
long.
of consensus, right?
Yeah.
Which is my new favorite term. So there's smaller elements of consensus being developed.
Consensus reality.
Okay. So
Cool.
okay.
Done.
So yep. So you've sort of worked that out, right? So this guy was clearly being manipulated in some way, probably psychic, like with something like he's been programmed, right? Like he's like a person who's been programmed and he's coming off the programming. At the same time,
Yeah.
we'll just flick to the maintenance cupboard. So Keith and Sean, you've got a guy. It's pitch black in here because like you just stepped in and the light isn't on. What do you want to do?
Sean, you want to have a crack?
Yeah. What were you doing on the platform? Is the guy? Oh, sorry, actually, I should
Okay,
say.
yeah.
Unconscious.
Yeah. Well, so he's now sort of snapping into consciousness. The first thing he does is he tries to punch you, like it's almost an automatic reaction.
Fair enough.
Okay. I am gonna dodge out of the way and punch him back
Okay. Do you have?
using my brawling skill.
Yes. Yes, I thought one of you
Yeah.
had brawling. Yeah.
And
maybe
actually,
someone's got unarmed combat.
I'm gonna put 4 in my brawling. That's
Right,
gonna be
wow.
my thing.
Okay. And I have a feeling Keith might have unarmed combat or something similar.
No, you're being very. I have self-defense.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
Mm.
I was being. You're right.
You're
I
a
was
bit
being
too aggressive there.
culturally insensitive, I think, is the language that we're going to use to
So that was
describe
3
that behavior.
successes. by the
3
way.
successes. Okay, so he takes a swing at you. It's quite professional. Like he obviously knows what he's doing. And then you sort of, snap out of the way and smash him back with a roundhouse punch that sort of slams him into the shelves with the cleaning products and other things on them. He's like sort of stunned for a moment and goes, "Hold on, what am I doing here? Who are you guys?"
That's what we want to know. Who are you? What were you doing on the platform?
Same time.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do anything.
Okay, I'm using my intimidation skill.
Okay.
Isn't that the
I have
same as
the
your
gun
punching
out.
skill?
I have
You've
his
got the
gun.
gun out.
You have his gun
I'm
out.
assisting with intimidation. Like I'm the guy in the background of the picture going.
There aren't actually technically assistant rules.
Oh, that's fine.
Rules.
No, it's just decorative. He's just
It's just
decorative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I cap him, boss? Do I cap him?
Oh, you said this is completely dark, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's completely
I
dark.
have
No,
a
pointless.
high-powered, as like I have a thing. It says you have a small concealable
Yeah.
thing. So I have a high-powered small flashlight. that
Flashlights
was
become an impromptu interrogation room.
So it's like,
given. It's basically
Tell 5 stories.
it's more powerful than anything on the market. It's provided to me by the CIA.
right.
Normally used for signaling.
Yep.
So just
Just hanging out interrogating.
So you
me.
just snap that baby open and
Yeah,
flash it
boom.
directly in his face. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can also now see in the room, which is a double
Yeah.
win, right? It's like, wow, we could
Yeah.
not step onto the caustic.
And I
cleaning
just got
fluids.
4 successes in my intimidation.
Clearly the
which I feel
court-
reflects
flashlight,
that.
man.
clearly
Flashlight
that,
work.
that
Yeah.
flashlight is kicking ass.
Love it.
Okay, so the guy, so you shine the bright light into the guy's eyes, and he's like, now, definitely, absolutely, you can ask him a series of questions. So you got 4 successes, so you can ask him, you can get 4 things from him, right? So what do you want to know?
What were you doing on the train platform?
Well, I must have been here for a job.
What sort of jobs do you do?
Look, you're not coppers, right?
Do I look like a cop?
We're much
No,
worse.
you don't actually. That's
This
right.
asshole's
really
from
like
Australia.
If it was Dahlia, you would absolutely look like a cop. But you look like as far from Dahlia as possible, so I'll give you that. Well, look, I do jobs for like the local, the locals. And he just sort of uses the locals in a particular way that you, with your
Yeah.
streetwise.
I have my underground contacts as well.
Yeah.
I know the.
That's
I know
right.
what
You
you
do
said.
have underground
Yeah.
contacts. It's your fact, isn't it? Isn't it your knowledge?
No, my knowledge
my
is
knowledge is
vehicles.
criminality.
Your knowledge is criminality. You're not, but you've got underground contacts as a skill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Look, I do work for the, I don't know, the Gambino family, because every mob family is called the Gambinos. It's official. It's just a deal.
They make good pizza.
They do, and they're also a secret criminal enterprise running the world of mafia. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's
what
a
swings
price
and
I'm willing.
roundabouts.
It's a price I'm willing to pay for good pizza. So the Gambino family. So he works for the Gambino family.
Okay. Who were you sent to take out?
What? I wasn't here to take anyone out.
You just killed the conductor, dude.
What? No, I wasn't here to take anyone out, man. I wasn't
The-
here. I wasn't here to do anything. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't have any. Why am I here? What the hell are you people throwing at me?
What's
Is this
your
your
name?
gun? Oh, you first. Sorry.
Yeah, so-
Is this going to be your last fact?
yeah.
Good
What's
I mean,
question.
your
you
name?
can you can ask.
Yeah,
You can ask
yeah.
his name. He'll tell you a name. That's fine.
Yeah.
So his name's Frank.
Cool.
I look at Frank and say, Frank, is this your gun?
I've never seen that weapon before in my life.
Right. Well,
We've got
luckily for
photos.
you, luckily for you,
I
we
mean,
know
what
it
did you think he
works.
would? What do you think he
No,
was?
no, no.
gonna
Let me
say?
work with this, right? We know it works, and surprisingly, the gun you've never seen before, it's really well equipped with a silencer. And in this little room, this locked little room, unfortunately, you might not leave.
Do you have intimidation?
Hey! I done nothing to you people. I don't even know why I'm here. And if you do me any harm, the Gambinos will come and get you.
Dude, you're a 2-bit hitman. They're not going to give a shit.
Stupid hitman who fell in on the tracks by
Because
accident.
unfortunately, apparently, you did an unauthorized hit.
Hey, I didn't do no hit. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't even know who you people are. Why am I? And he just starts to lose it, right? So
Right.
he's having the opposite effect of the other guy. So
Yeah.
the other guy was given enough time to sort of, and he's now building this sort of narrative to explain the gap. This guy, you're pushing him on the gap really hard, right? So he's not able to construct a reason, and actually he's finding it harder and harder to handle the fact that he can't construct a reason. So he's losing it in
I've
this
got
little
nowhere to
room.
talk to, guys. Hey, we don't have any walkie-talkies or anything.
Now,
Oof.
did you want to ask one last question, Sean? I'll give you a hint. Might be wise to ask him what he can remember.
Oh, I was going to suggest that. But
Yeah.
I'm
That
not
was my
there.
question, but you wouldn't let me ask it.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah. What was the last thing you remember?
Yeah, wow, that's a great question. I'm glad you
Yeah.
thought of it.
hey,
There you
all
go.
that psychic shit's really working.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
it's really good. Well, I was, yeah, it's really weird. My last thing I remember is these three guys coming up to me when I was at the diner to have a chat about something.
Which diner?
Dorothy's. I don't know what streets there are in Washington. It's so far from my world, but on 52nd Street, there you go. There's probably no 52nd Streets in Washington, but it'll do. So yeah, on 52nd Street in Washington. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Punt.
Yeah. And yeah, then I'm gonna try and knock him out.
Okay.
With your punching skill.
Yep.
She gets closure this way.
Yeah.
All right.
What did oh, okay, that's 4 successes.
Okay. Wow. Well, he's
4
definitely knocked
stars.
out.
Four
I rolled a
stars.
bunch of
Knocked out.
ones.
He's definitely knocked out. Okay. So then I assume you guys open the door from the inside.
And we exit
Yeah.
and close.
Was it locked?
Doesn't matter. It was cool.
No, it's more funny if it wasn't. I just want to know.
And you
You
open
just
the
phased
door.
through just in case it was
What,
unlocked.
what are the other 4 of you doing with the guy on the bench who you've been
Well,
talking to?
I was gonna do like
Yeah,
a medical
medical.
check on him using my traditional
Oh, right. Yeah.
medicine.
Yep.
I have got some ideas. I think I'm gonna use one of my knowledges on him.
Nice.
Okay, so I've put
Are you
3
going to use
skill.
your shamanism on him?
I think I'm going to do some, but
I'll
that
be
needs some
right back.
privacy, so we're not doing it here.
Right.
Traditional medicine, I put 3 skills in. Oh my gosh, get some dice. Okay. Oh, what's that one? Okay, so that's a success. Nope. Yep. Nope. I got 3 successes.
Okay. His aura, to your mind, his spirit, is clearly out of alignment, right?
Yeah.
Like he's got I don't know what the Southeast Asian.
I've got
experience
some
would be.
ideas. So I'm like checking him all over and feeling his head, and I'm like, your spirit's not happy. They're just Your head spirit is missing.
What?
What happened to you?
My what's missing?
Spirit of your head is gone.
What do you mean the spirit in my head's gone? What the hell's my
No,
spirit
it's
in my
very
head?
bad.
And
This
why
is
did you
very
take it
bad.
from me?
What's being taken from me? What the hell? Who are
You
you?
have to come with us. Or
What? I don't want to go with you. You're crazy.
no, I will fix it. I will get that spirit back. I put it back where it belongs.
Okay.
Won't let anybody else in there. You can't have an empty space. Anything could come in there. It's very dangerous.
Mr. Watson, you should go with her. She knows what she's talking about.
Amazing.
Okay, so the African American woman and the Asian woman are telling the white guy in 1965 that he should go with the weird Asian woman.
Oh no,
I'm
we're all
just-
going to go to the
I'm just
hotel,
checking in
aren't
on
we?
this. And there's a
Yeah,
mad
no.
scientist in the background going, I've realised that we're all connected in some beautiful way.
But I can't remember how or why.
That's right. I just feel it in my soul. And there's a
I'm a
and
bit
then,
paranoid at the moment.
and then just to fix it all up, there's a person taking photos every now and then of the
Every now
whole
and then,
thing.
I don't want to have to change my role in the middle of the crowd.
No,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay. Make a command roll.
Yeah, all right. 2 successes.
All right. Yeah, he'll come with you. All right. So long story short, you're going to check him out to see whether his spirit
Yeah.
is balanced.
Well, so one of my skills is a knowledge. Now, let me. Where is it? I possess an intricate knowledge of shamanistic practices affecting spirits, healing, or possession.
That's correct.
So I can introduce a fact about this topic.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So there are what am I going to say about this? There are 12 spirits in each human body, and somebody has used some method to remove one of them from this man to control him
Right.
and possess him.
Replace it with a
Do the
different
other
spirit,
spirits
or-
know where that head spirit is?
Yeah, like
in
if
his
I do
body?
a shamanistic ritual, I'll be able to reclaim his spirit and put
Nice.
it back where it belongs. And I suspect the same thing is going to have happened with this other bloke
Nice.
after we've talked to him. So we need to go somewhere where I can do some very odd kind of stuff.
The cupboard over there.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking like a
Beautiful
hotel
cupboard.
Too
room.
much psychic residue, man.
All right.
Oh,
So you're
man.
going to do the hotel room. Okay. So you move to the hotel room. We'll just do the classic.
Yeah, that's
things,
a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
idea. We
Things-
take both of them, right?
things from the flood moment where we cut scene and find ourselves at the hotel
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
No, this
So
is
now
cool.
I've got
Both
two
of them, right? Yeah.
people who I believe are missing spirits from the head.
Okay.
One's unconscious, right?
Yeah.
Still?
Well.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
He was knocked out.
Can you also tell like who took the spirits? Like, does the
Well, I'm wondering if I will be able to find that information out.
Okay.
Take a shot
So
of their
Well,
head so we have
maybe,
photographic record.
maybe building on Dominic's supposition that you're all connected in some way. Maybe there's a broader connection between psychics that might be relevant at this point.
point. Yeah. So I will need some of you to help me with this task of
So you're
we
going to
need
get
to-
everyone to
Spirits.
help.
everyone's going
Okay.
to help.
All right. And then you're going to, and so we won't go into the whole specifics of the ritual because that's neither here nor there. So
It's really interesting. I read about it.
Can I?
is it actually Hmong?
When they,
Yeah, I saw a Hmong shaman practicing a ritual, and it was fascinating. It's like wears this like cap with a hood that comes down over
Yeah.
his face, and like shakes, and he's got rattles, and they use the rattles to capture the spirits and
Okay, so
put
you're
them back
going.
where they belong.
So you're going
is
full
cool.
veil with rattles.
Yeah, and I need
what
other
we're
people
getting.
to like catch me and hold me up when I'm
I
in the
can do that. I
trance.
can help with that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and we'll use the my rattles to like capture these spirits. But I'm going to see what those spirits tell me about what happened to them and
Oh, okay. All
who
right.
might have possessed them and like kicked them out of their heads.
Okay.
They
And
were supposed to
Dominic,
be.
what were you trying to add to that conversation?
I was just wondering if, as we got the thought about telepresence, whether or not I might be able to help Vang with this based on the weird science I've been involved
I
in
think
the
that's a
past.
completely valid thing for you
That's
to be
cool.
able to do.
That
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
I have a very distinct image now that you're building like some weird electrical device in the background that you're circling around the outside of this guy, these two people, to detect the psychic auras, while while Vang is like got the rattles out and is like inside the circle doing things, and you're both like, no, I'm detecting a field wave. Yes, I can feel the spirit coming.
Yeah, on second thought,
It's
Dahlia
like
and
Egon
Sean,
with
can
his
you
ghost detector.
Dahlia and Sean, can you do the catching the Vang spirit thing, and I'll document this whole ritual.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
Actually,
interesting as this is, I'm doing security detail.
Okay, so you're guarding outside. You're looking outwards.
Pretty
Just to be
much.
clear. All right. Okay, can
Thomas,
Yes.
Thomas, sorry. Based on that, I'm going to add an item of gear, which
Sure.
is a field monitor, which
Nice.
detects.
Nice.
Yeah.
We all
That's
endorse.
where L. Ron Hubbard gets it from.
Stole your invention.
He's a hack,
But
I tell you. He's a hack.
But before he uses it, he gets his tinfoil hat out, and Dominic puts his tinfoil hat on first, and then gets his little box
You
out.
don't want to, you don't want to mess with the readings.
And I just want to say right now that sorry for any offence we may have caused to any Scientologists in our.
I'm not sorry.
Oh, look, okay, thanks. I was trying to be sensitive. Tom.
That's his stream he's just gone.
Fucked it. You just fucked it.
Yeah,
That's
one
it. Now
viewer
I'm
is
swearing.
off.
I'm swearing, and we've also the one Scientologist who was watching it now out. It's the only guy who was watching it through the lag, man.
And now you're
Right.
banned in Utah.
It's
I have
fine.
no followers left. All right. Okay. So can I get two separate skill rolls, please? One from Dominic and one from Vanqua.
Okay, I'm using commune, and I've
Don't
put
cross
4
the
in
beams.
it.
You put 4 in commune. This I believe
So good.
is appropriate.
This is my
What I
thing.
love is at no point did I imagine there would be a whole Hmong shamanistic ritual that would occur during this.
Look, I've got to say that the most innovative, like spending your skills as you developing your character, super cool. Love it.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, that's 3 successes.
Okay, and Dominic?
I also got 3 successes.
Okay.
For once.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Amazing.
So, so I'm just thinking about how to describe this. Okay, so we'll start with Dominic, I think. Yeah, we'll start with Dominic. Okay, so Dominic, you've got your field sensors up, right? And you're detecting, for psychic sort of forces being used on people, obviously. Like you're looking for that telepresence ability in particular. And when Vanqua starts the ritual, which you can actually detect on your senses, like you can feel the psychic energies coming off Vanqua when they're doing the ritual. You have a very deep suspicion that all of this can be explained in your next paper that will be written about, shamanistic rituals and their connection to traditional psychic powers. How it's not really religion at all; it's actually just psychic powers being used. So when Vanqua is sort of going through the ritual, you get a read on the fact that there is someone who is watching you, right? That
Cool.
there is someone in particular, and I should say not watching you personally, it's more that they're watching the two people on the ground who you're near. So they've got a connection to the two people, right? So they've got some way of locating the two people, and you are detecting that they are present and remote viewing you. So you are definitely certain that there's a remote viewing going on. Vanqua. So you capture one of the two spirits, right? When it comes back, you capture it in the rattles. So before it
Yeah.
returns fully into the body, it's a bit weird because at first it feels like maybe there's an exchange of spirits. So something was present in the head,
Ah.
right?
Something was possessing that person.
Yeah. So something was possessing that person, and when you do your ritual, that's kind of hurled
Puts
out
it
of this
back.
person, and you capture their spirit returning. At least that's how you interpret what's going on. Whether that's
Yeah.
actually what's going on is irrelevant. That's certainly how you perceive it. And you can tell that the spirit is now in your rattles, and it's deeply distressed, like it's been held in a black and darkened place, right? Like it wasn't,
Mm.
it's been treated really poorly as a spirit.
Yeah, so I'm going to call out to that spirit, and I'm trying to soothe it and reassure it and tell it's going home and it will be safe, and I will make sure it's protected and severed if like nothing else can come in and harm it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in return for that, what do you want exactly?
Um,
Because shamanism,
like-
it's all about trades.
oh yeah, like what does that spirit know about what happened?
Okay.
If
So-
it's got any information about what happened.
Yep.
Who does it belong to?
And who does it belong? I should be able to tell which person it belongs to.
Yeah,
I think.
you can tell it
Yeah.
belongs to Keith Watson, not Frank the Assassin.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. It remembers what it remembers is meeting 3 men. And for just a second, you get a flash of what those 3 men look like. I'm just going to pop it up now. Oh, hold on. I've got this. I'm doing this thing, so I need to hit that show players.
Oh, I've got to switch to thing.
Oh, cool.
Thing.
So these 3 older guys,
Bunch
Yeah.
of smug white guys.
bunch of
Mhm.
smug white guys.
Okay, I want to inject something here. Okay, so I've got a lot of knowledge about the operation of Russia and
Yep.
the inner workings of the bureaucracy,
Yep.
and the kerchiefs are a special pattern recognized by as like one of their sleeper cells. You can see there's always the
Nice.
white one, the line, and the dark.
Yeah. It's great,
Nice.
like the 3
Yeah.
witches.
Yep. Okay. So they're part of a secret. Let me just write this down. Secret Russian sleeper cell.
Well, in the background, you can see a Russian star or something like that, a communist star on the pillar.
Oh, yes, right there.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah.
Just the bottom end
It
of it.
could be a Caltech symbol, but it could be.
Caltech symbol. They could be worse. They could be Caltech.
He's wearing his
execs.
tinfoil.
But no,
Or it's a
obviously
Texaco gas station.
they're Russian. They're Russian secret. They're a Russian secret cell. Yes. So, is there anything further you'd like to add? Like, is one of them a leader, or do they always work?
So the middle guy,
Yeah.
the middle guy, I know the name of.
Right.
I've seen
okay.
him in reference document. He's Petrov Smirnov.
Smirnov. His father owns the
Peter Smirnov, right? Pryor Smirnov. He is a well-known party member and is in a lot of public events and has high influence and access.
Okay.
I am also going to bounce my knowledge of criminality into it.
Okay.
Once per session, I can introduce a single fact about this topic.
Yeah.
They have close ties to the Gambinos. I didn't realize that.
Okay.
I've
They've
seen
been
that middle
known
guy
to
before.
leverage local criminal organizations to
That's
get
it.
things done.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So they work with the. But does the criminal underground know that they're Russian spies?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
No.
I think
No.
they're being used.
Yep. So the Gambinos don't know. Okay. All right. So
All makes sense now.
I don't know how that's progressing us towards the end of the session, but
I
look,
have no idea what the end of the session is, but it seems like.
Fun.
But who cares?
That's all my red string. I've run out.
Yeah. Where does it go now? I don't know. I don't even have a pin anymore.
Green.
So you do.
I love Paul. Just looks like he's gone.
Is he still there? I can't even tell.
No, he's gone off for a minute.
He's
I know,
gone
but
to
it
get a
just looks
drink.
like he's wrapped himself up.
Yeah. To protect himself.
all good.
It's okay. So yeah, the next scene is Paul comes out. He goes, why can't you hear him? Because he's literally coded in because he's realised that you've got remote viewing going on. Paul, we've decided that the picture of you is actually you.
In the background.
This is your
When you're gone,
no,
it's your pause
This
picture.
is your response to the remote viewing risk that you've literally gone, the hat ain't going to do it anymore. I'm going whole hog. And you've now gone and found the alfoil and you're literally rolling it around your arms and legs.
Yeah, sorry, I needed a comfort break. I could hear you. Yeah, I mean, he is completely getting more paranoid now that he knows that that there's some telepresencing going on. So yeah, that is him.
That is him. Has anyone seen Dominic? And out of the kitchen, you can just hear the, you know that sound, the sound of the alfoil
Ripping.
being pulled out and then ripped, like the rip, rip. What's going on with Dominic? It's best not to ask. Okay, and then Dominic comes out just coded in alfoil. All right, so okay, so you've worked out it's the Petrovs. You know there's remote viewing. You know the Gambinos are somehow maybe working with the Petrovs, which could give you a leverage point if only one of you knew people in the criminal underground that they could talk to, who might be able to help you.
Right, can I use one of my skills, which is researchers?
Yeah.
To see if there might be a connection between this new fact that Camilla's just come up with and the researchers I've been talking to.
You can.
In that case, I'm going to pump 3 into that.
Right.
Because I haven't used many skills. Let's see if there's a connection between the people I had the argument with and these newly
Thomas is
found
desperately
bad
trying to
people.
tie this back into the actual plot.
Yeah. I got 1, 2. It's less than, isn't it, Thomas?
Yes, it is. Oh no, it's equal to
only
or less
got-
than. Equal to or less than.
Oh, I got 3 successes.
Look, I think that's a beautifully thrown grappling hook, bringing the other ship closer to you. So So...
I am trying to get us back on track.
No, look, I don't think we should feel like we're bound by the adventure definition or indeed the module at all. But look, it's nice.
Poor people on the bus.
Yeah, exactly. What about the poor people on the bus? They're going to die. Remember that bit of the story?
Someone was trying to assassinate Keith Tanaka, right?
Yeah.
That's the feeling we got.
Yeah.
Must be tied to the vision somehow.
Yeah. Oh, you've decided it was Keith who was the target.
I was going to say, what?
Sorry, didn't I mention
actually,
that?
Yeah.
let's inject something else into that photo. The guy on the right has a wedding ring that's similar to the woman's wedding ring.
Shit. You're right.
Ooh.
It's the same.
The matching white gold.
Yep.
Ah,
He's wearing it on the
okay.
right.
On the
All right.
black and white photo.
So you got, hold on. So Dominic, you got 3 successes. Look, you do know that some researchers, very desperate for funding, will do side work, particularly in relation to, creation of new drugs and other things, for criminal organisations. And you've often suspected that we've got to give this scientist a name. Paul, do you want to name him? Because I'll call him.
Schmidt.
I'll call him Watson again if you don't.
Did you say Schmidt?
Wilhelm Schmidt.
Oh, you just had to make it hard for us Australians.
Ex-Nazi. No,
Bloody hell.
ex-Nazi right there.
I love hearing Australians say Schmidt.
Yeah, it's just fucking hilarious.
What the shit are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Schmidt. I'm trying it now. And I can...
Cut that Schmidt out.
Okay, I can't even get that out. Okay, Werwolf Schmidt. Okay, is that right? Did I get it mostly
Nice.
right?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah,
It's amusing
exactly.
enough.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
amazing.
something else that I know is that building in the background, right? That large rectangular building in the background.
Yeah.
That is the Shadow Russian Embassy.
Ah,
Nice.
okay. So the
So
one
this
that
picture was
isn't
just taken on like
recognised?
Russian Happiness Day or something.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically a private company
Sure.
that has a lot of Russian ties,
Yeah.
but is not recognized as such.
Maybe it's
my
Finnish.
research.
Maybe it's Finnish. It
There
might
we
be a
go.
Finnish corporation because they often operate as middlemen between
Yeah, so
Russia
Nokia.
and the US. Yeah, Nokia, the early version.
Early. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the
I
1960s,
wonder.
the Finns are operating as intermediaries between the
There we
USA and
go.
Russia.
Finnish
also.
company.
There you go.
I wonder if that's the place that Dominic had the argument with Schmidt.
Oh, no, it was definitely at
No,
the
that was
university.
at the university.
University.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
already agreed. I wrote that down. Or
It's on my
was
first
it?
page of
Or
notes.
was it? Anyway, okay, so you
It may have
guys.
been a front.
So here's the sort of let's move the plot along question.
Okay.
Because you've taken what was literally a snapshot to explain who three people were turned it into literally half the plot, which I love.
Hey, look, this is how QAnon formed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
just take some random
And
shit.
there goes half of America.
That's
With
right.
all the rest of his viewers gone.
There's the
We can pull
Scientologist
meaning
now
out of
QAnon.
anything.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
like literally 2 people left as subscribers, Tom, and you killed them both right there. What the fuck,
Oopsie.
man? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm hearing it in your voice too. By the way, it's just the sadness is real. Okay, so where do you want to go next, right? So do you want to go and sort of pursue? So you've actually kind of got 3 obvious avenues, which I'll just remind you of in case that helps you form your thinking. So one option is to go off and pursue the Gambino line of inquiry because you've now established that the Gambinos might be being unknowingly used by Russian spies. You've got the researcher at the university who may have unknowing links to these people via the Gambino family or may even be directly related in some way. And you've got a random connection established through white gold ring wearing people who wield magical powers. I'm not drawing any inferences, but I'm just
They've
saying
got all
that
their fingers.
that's
Oh, Thomas Covenant.
that's been done before, right? Anyway, somewhere, sometime. Stephen R. Donaldson, who are you?
I
And
think
then
one thing worth looking into as
Yeah.
a note is we have a bus number, or at least a
yeah,
partial
you've
bus
got a
number.
bus number and you've got a time and you've got
Yep.
the type of people who ride that bus. You actually have quite a bit about the bus as well.
Yeah.
So-
So we
so-
could pursue.
yeah.
We could go and find out what that bus is when it services where it services.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
suppose a good question right now would be, what is the time?
As in,
Yeah.
what is the actual time in game?
Yeah, is that
Yeah,
happen- like
as
the bus?
opposed-
Is that a
like
future
when's-
event, or has it happened? Right?
Yeah,
Shit,
good
that could-
point.
that could
Okay,
suck.
you haven't heard any news stories on the radio about
Yeah,
a
so
whole
it might
bunch of
not have
people
happened
collapsing.
yet. Oh,
So you're
God.
probably going with no. No, that definitely felt like the future. But it wasn't miles away, like it wasn't weeks away. It was definitely maybe days.
Good.
away.
It was like an hour ago. We've been busy doing this ritual
Yeah.
with these goons.
Uh,
The
So we
bus
switched
goes
on the
past
news,
in
and
5
now there's a
minutes.
news report.
So the ritual probably took a number of hours. So we can assume it's mid to late afternoon on the day.
Okay, so we need to find out the time of the bus and try to intercept it and get this woman in. her
Well, we know that the
clothes.
event happens in the early evening.
So
yeah.
that's coming up real close.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the good news is, I don't know if this is good news, but at this point in time, the Greyhound, so the big bus exchange, is actually right next to Union Station. Interestingly, it's not there anymore. Could make a whole stack of inferences about that. But at this point it is. So it's actually quite close to where you are.
It was even closer to where we were before we went to a
Sure.
hotel to do this ritual.
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah.
you're saying?
No,
Yeah.
maybe, but look, I don't think you should feel bound by that piece of information.
It's like we were all running up like in the westerly direction on the track, but if we turned around, we would have seen the bus 4-3.
Yeah.
something.
So
Well,
it's
let's
like,
see.
hold
So
on,
they've
was
got
that the
set
bus?
timetables.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
they'll
can get
have
the
set
timetable.
timetables and the like.
Yeah.
So
The hotel, hey, the hotel reception will have it. I call reception
Indeed.
from the room.
Yeah.
I'll call downstairs and say, hey, I want to catch a bus. Do we know where it's going?
Okay. So are
West.
you going to
You tell them you're going to meet somebody off the
No,
you're going to meet
yeah.
somebody.
but the bus
On
is
that bus.
leaving, right?
Oh yeah, that you go see somebody off on that bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll call them and I'll say, oh hi, I need to meet a friend at the Greyhound bus depot, but I can't remember the name of the. I can't remember the bus route. It's 43 something. Is that what we have? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something 3.
For something 3.
4-3. It's leaving around.
It was
in the evening.
It was supposed to.
5.
It was leaving at 5 o'clock, but it was supposed to leave at 4:15.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the one that always runs late. It goes west. It's going west, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
A lot
are
of coloreds,
literally on the
catch it.
eastern coast, so west is.
It's not
Well,
a floating bus.
We could still go north and south. Hey,
It
man,
could.
look at the map. Jesus. All right, that should
All
be
right.
enough information for this
All right,
50s
so
Google
what-
engine to.
Yeah,
freaking
exactly. Yeah. Okay. Can
And
I
I'm
get?
so distressed.
You are so
Okay.
distressed.
Oh,
Do you have
investigation?
like investigation or a similar?
Let me have a look. I do have investigation.
You
Happens to be
literally
a
have
4.
investigation, the skill.
Yeah, happens to
Ah.
be a 4. Funny how that worked out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Jeez.
2 1s, a 2, 2 4s, and a 5.
That's the 473 to Atlanta.
That's the one. Thank you. Do we have the bus schedules right somewhere so we can check?
Yeah, they say, yeah, I've got the Greyhound bus schedule right here, but I
Ah.
don't know why you wouldn't catch the bus.
No, I'm not
Oh,
catching
actually,
the bus.
no, sorry,
no.
some of you are not white.
Yeah.
So most
I'm
of you would
Camilla.
catch the bus.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
not catching the bus.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just
you're
making sure my
Hispanic.
friend.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I'm
actually
just
think
making
you-
sure my friend gets on it.
No, they
I'm not actually
expect you to catch
catching
the bus. They actually think you would catch the bus. Actually, sorry, I forgot.
Thank
you
you
were
for
Hispanic.
your.
Oh.
Thank
Click.
you.
I hang up.
Yeah,
Right, cool.
exactly,
And
yeah.
I relay this to the team. We've got
All right.
This is the
Yeah.
time. So let's get down there.
So it's the 473 to Atlanta.
Mm.
All right. You go
Make it happen.
down. You go down to the bus exchange, and make your way quickly towards the place where the 473 normally leaves. It's
We tie those Gambinos up, right? Before we leave?
yeah. Well, you tied
Yeah,
up the Gambino. The other guy, remember,
There was
wasn't
only
the
one.
Gambino.
Rando.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Rando. Rando, the completely innocent guy who was.
Did we check that he had a gun in his pocket and that was what he was reaching for?
No, he was
It was
reaching
like
for. He was
cigarettes
actually
or
reaching for a knife.
A knife. Oh, that's nice.
The
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah, no, he had a
Personal.
weapon. No, he was absolutely armed.
Okay.
So you go down into the sort of leave the building. You're heading out. You're heading across. You're going towards the bus exchange. You can see the third of the 3 guys, right? So remember, you've got 3 guys that you've seen. The guy in the middle, Petrov, I think
Yep.
we agreed. You've got the guy with the big white thing on his chest, and he's also got the white gold ring on his finger, as you
Yep.
rightly pointed out. And then you've got the guy with the patterned
Kerchief.
kerchief
Chief, yes.
there. So the guy with the patterned kerchief, I need you to. He's moving towards you at a great rate of knots as you cross the open road.
Aggressively?
Yeah, you bet.
He's moving across the road. If for some unknown reason he were to be stuck in the middle of that road, would a car hit him?
That could happen. Yep.
Well, I use my premonition power defy gravity to make it really gravity where he is.
Right. So
he
you're trying to crush
crushes
him
to the ground.
You're trying to
Just
crush
like
him down.
straight to the thing. Yep. That's
Okay.
2 points. Is that a specialist or a mental physical thing?
We had decided it would be specialist for the sake of the game,
Sure.
so that
Okay.
seems
So
reasonable.
specialist, I script of 2 points.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
So you.
So he runs and trips basically. That's what it looks
Well,
like.
actually, he doesn't. I'm going to
Mhm.
need you to roll a skill, and I don't know what skill to make you roll, so that's tricky, isn't it?
What are you trying to get me to do? I'll figure it out from the skills I have.
Well, I sort of, yeah, I don't.
Like, do I need to realize that he's not affected by my powers?
Well,
stuff like that?
it's not that he's not affected. Hold on, I'm just going to have a look at what your skills
Because I can
are.
ramp this shit up. I only spent 2 premonition.
Yeah, so
We can go singularity on his ass.
Yep, you're gonna.
Did they discover black holes in the 50s? I don't know.
You're gonna have to pump in 2 additional premonition to stop him.
Done. That triggers my 4 though, so I get to do something.
Oh, okay, cool. Yep. All right. So you try and pressure him down, and he basically when you first start doing it, he's still moving at you, right? So he's got something else going on, right? So he's got something that's actually ignoring your gravity effect.
Right. So the 4 lets me do a thing, right? I can decide what happens.
Well, you can. So the
If it
4
triggers?
gives you a flash forward, which is like you
In
see.
time?
No, as in you see a future event.
Oh,
You
can
get
it be
a
really?
snapshot.
Can it be really like in the very, very near future, like the next 2 seconds?
No, because that wouldn't really be.
Don't
a
say
flash
no.
forward.
Okay,
It
that's
wouldn't
fine.
be a
That's
flash
fine.
forward. But
Flash forward. Okay.
But what you
I don't
actually
think
have
that I have
to do
enough
to
info for
hold
that.
him is you actually realize you have to actually not push him down, but actually rather lift him up,
Yeah, sure.
right? So the trick isn't.
Yeah.
So when you push him down, it's not slowing him down.
Yeah. So I realize that, and so I invert it.
Yeah.
So he's
just
being
floating
repelled.
above the ground,
Yep.
right? And then he's like suspended
He
because he
can't touch
doesn't
the
have
ground.
contact
Yeah.
with the ground anymore.
That makes sense. So I lift him, and so he's kind of floating there a bit.
Yeah. He's still trying to move
concentrating.
towards you, but now he's not
I
moving.
just want a car to hit him.
Yeah. Okay.
Or someone else to do something, right? I'm just there like, what? Being all psychic.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
So-
I should change my background while this happens.
Yeah, do your psychic background.
Psychic background.
All right, so your flash forward moment. All right, so you see the woman again, but this time you see her face. So it's a woman in her mid-30s. She's got light sort of blonde hair. She's wearing a very sort of innocuous but quite upmarket, like ladies sort of dress. So sort of Macy's kind of level shopping. So the upper end of mall shopping, if I can put it that way. So she's not wearing haute couture or anything like that, but she's certainly wearing top of the line, sort of available in the malls
So
type of clothing.
upper middle class.
Yeah, so she's ringing all the bells for upper middle
When
class.
America had a middle class.
When America had a middle class, what little
That's
of it
your
there
last
is.
subscriber.
We shouldn't laugh because ours is heading in the same direction.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you can see her face. She's getting a ticket to catch the bus,
The 473.
the 473.
Hmm.
Okay, that's your flash. Okay, and then a car takes the guy out.
That's my flash, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
cool.
your flash forward. That's what you saw.
Whoa.
And then boom. Now because you've made him effectively weightless.
Oh shit. No, I haven't. I've just been lifting him. I haven't made him weightless.
Well,
so
no,
the
but you've
mat-
affected
he'll be-
gravity.
Yeah,
Therefore,
so
he's
he's
weightless.
inert.
Therefore,
No,
He
yeah, but
has
he's
mass.
still he's
He
still
has
massy.
mass.
So when the thing hits him, it's still just gonna.
Yeah, he's got
slide in my-
inertia. I'm not debating.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got
Okay,
inertia.
good.
But he's still weightless, which
Yes.
does have an impact
For sure.
in a thing. Basically, the car doesn't stop, and he and the car disappear down the road, right? Because the car hits him. It's moving at a great rate of knots. There's a weird effect when the car first hits him. It's like one corner of the car crumples first.
Ouch.
Like,
Oh yeah, okay. He's got some weird fucking magic shit happening.
and then him and the car disappear down the road. I should point out, you don't think you saw him get injured by the car,
Hmm.
right? So he
As long
was,
as he's out of the way.
but he's
for this-
gone, right? He's
Yeah,
gone
cool.
100, 200, 300 yards down the road while the driver desperately tries to stop the car and understand why the fuck the car's sort of falling apart as a result of hitting him, because that's
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
what's happening. As
That's great.
as he smashes down the road and disappears. All right, so you guys then race across the road, and hit the hit the station, right? So the Greyhound bus exchange. Now you've hit it just at the right time, right? So the woman who you can see now for the first time, right? So you see her as she's leaving the ticketing station. So you're now seeing the moment that you saw before, if that makes sense, right? So
You're talking to me, right? I'm
yeah,
letting everyone. I'm
absolutely.
telling everyone, though, right?
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
arrow in towards that ticket point, and you catch her just as she gets the ticket and starts to walk into the crowd towards the bus.
Excuse me, man.
I'd like to walk up and kind of, do that whole walk into her shoulder thing to try and knock her over.
Oh, okay. So you're going to like brusquely try and hit her on the side and knock her over.
Yeah.
You do know what she's carrying in her bag, right?
You can do that. I
But
can
it's a-
use gravity to pull it sideways, right? So we can move into her so that Sean
Yeah.
kind of bumps her and distracts her, and then I just kind of move it sideways so one of the others catches the.
Yeah, I'm just checking, Sean.
Yeah.
How physical is your knocking over?
I'm not like full on plowing her
using
down,
punching.
but kind of, kind of getting her off balance a little bit.
Okay. With
Well,
the
can I ask the
deadly
question before
toxin.
this happens?
Yeah.
Is she standing like Washington's got a lot of like sewers and stuff, right?
Yep, sure. It's an old city.
It's an old city, lots of sewers. So
Yeah.
Can I see a sewer grate nearby? Like can I see if she's over a sewer? Like a
Man, now I feel like
I'm thinking about passing her through the ground as you take the suitcase off her.
I can see that's where you're heading.
Yeah.
Team, is that okay? Or do we want to talk to her?
Do you want
You want to
to?
talk to her?
Do you
All
have
right,
a
I
skill
won't
that
do
you
it.
can use? Oh, okay, okay. All right.
No, I was
Okay.
told we want to
Just-
talk to her. So embedding her in the ground is a bad thing, I'm told.
Why don't you
Okay.
just desolid the case or desolid the handle on the case, and then what Whitford walks by and just picks it up?
Could do that.
Can I do a deduction or a science roll? Probably is better to try and evaluate based on the very limited knowledge I've got about this toxin.
Yep.
Do a science roll to see if dumping it in water might make it worse.
Okay, sure. Make a science roll.
Yeah, I'm going to stick 3 into science,
Nice.
and that's the end of my 3s. And yeah, because I was thinking, we'll get like you guys, we'll get the bag, dump it in water, or chuck it in the sewer. But of course, if it pollutes the entire water table, we're not really helping, are we?
Well, we stopped the thing that we saw.
I got I got 2 1s, a 2, a 3, and 2 4s. So I got
4 successes.
4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. This is a neurotoxin. Based on what little you were able to understand, it getting out of its container is going to be very bad, no matter how, right? So it won't be aerosol, so it won't be pumped out into the air, but bad equals bad, right? So it doesn't get better, it just gets a different vector.
So it needs containment rather than dilution.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
treating this with kids' gloves would be the overstated intent of all time, right? Like, it's just like, yeah, maybe we should really be careful here. Okay,
So she's got a flask in her bag with it in.
she has something in her bag. You know that much. You know it was diffused from
What's
her bag.
her reaction? Sorry.
Well, so Sean, you're knocking her, and who was grabbing the case?
I was using gravity to pull it out, so then
you're
someone
ripping,
can grab it.
you're
That way it's not going to fall on the ground. We've got
Alright.
control over it. Like
Okay.
I can move it, right?
Yep, you
That's
can
another 2
cushion
points.
it from impact, in effect.
But it would be a mental, physical, right? Or is it still specialist?
Well, like I said, we were going to let people choose, right? So
Then I shall choose. I'll use specialist so I don't trigger my other, because otherwise I will trigger my second future vision, and I don't want to waste that yet.
Okay.
That's
So
a
you
good
do
point,
that.
actually.
Keith, are you going to do the phasing thing? Nick?
No, I'm not going to kill her. It's fine.
Okay.
I was told I shouldn't do it. It's not the right thing.
I
Okay.
have got the perfect way to get her to talk to us once we actually get her kind of
Okay.
just
And
remembered.
Sean, make a, I guess it's a, what skill do you want to use? Because you're not actually trying to beat her down.
No, it's not brawling. That's for sure.
Do you have nimbleness or agility or?
I have stealth. I have. Yep. Yeah, I have reckless and I have stealth.
Oh, well,
Oh no.
It's not
Comes the
really.
reckless.
yeah, no.
No, I don't think this is really.
I
the
think
time
I
for
should
that.
take. I think I should take the lead on, getting her to control. I'm just going to like walk up to her and grab her hand. Or
Yep.
is she wearing gloves?
No.
No. What kind of 50s
Is
middle
she
class
wearing?
woman is she?
Is
No,
she wearing
she's-
the wedding ring?
She's a
She's-
floozy.
And she's
she wearing-
60s middle class. She's 60s.
she-
She's
is she-
60s. Okay, so I'm gonna go to kind of like
Check the
Sharon,
wedding
this
ring.
kind of older Asian woman, toddling up to her, grab her hands, madam, help me. And
Oh,
I am going to use my special power
Yep.
to
Sweaty palms.
inject
Moist.
a drug into her to make her very, very cooperative with me.
Okay.
Some like kind of calming agent. This is literally
Yeah.
the shit we're trying to stop.
Yeah, so it's just like she's going to just feel really
To the greater
good, really calm, and she's just going to want to be my best friend.
I wonder if anyone will ever work out how to mass produce that.
That's the vision we all know.
That's the vision.
Quickly check her wedding ring hand stuff. Does she got? What's the go with that? Remember how it wasn't? It was weird.
Yeah, it was on the wrong
Yeah.
finger.
Is that where it is now? I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right.
Right.
So you're gonna go and grab her hands and calm her right down.
Yeah.
Your Keith is not now pushing her into the sewer grate to
No.
watch her drown. Dominic has confirmed that neurotoxin bad. Don't break the neurotoxin container. Camilla, Sean's thought he was going to do this whole sideswipe thing and then realized actually maybe considering Dominic's advice and his complete lack of skill in the area, this wasn't something he should do.
No, actually, instead, something I would like to do is when Vanquar goes up and kind of distracts her a little bit, I'd like to use my power to make the bag invisible and grab it as I walk past.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, that's a good
So
idea.
you're going to make it completely invisible. And then, Dahlia, what are you going to do while all this noise is happening?
I'm going to look around and just look like I'm catching a bus and just monitor the area to see if any of our friends turned up, our three
Right.
lads.
Any of the three amigos.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I mean, that guy's going to come back for us, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
eventually.
And
And he's going to be really shitty. I just want to share that.
Yeah.
He's not going to be happy at all. Okay. And you grab the bag and disappear with it. Can I get you to make a stealth roll, please, Sean?
Yeah, and I'm gonna put 2 into stealth.
Love this game. It's like stealth roll, you say. May not have mentioned it, but I'm actually pretty good at that.
Yes. Okay. That's 2 successes.
Okay, but you're also using your power, right? And you've burnt
Yes,
the
I'm
2
also using
premonition
my
for that.
power. Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right. So yes, you She's confused because someone has just made her very compliant. Like she's been hit by the world's biggest hit of ecstasy ever delivered to a human being. At the same time, you go past, and as her hands are loosening, you grab the bag, make it go invisible, and walk off with it.
Nice.
Dom,
Yep,
can
Dominic.
Dominic do something?
Yeah,
Dominic, can Dominic see this going on?
yeah. Dominic knows this is going on.
Right. So Dominic reaches
avoid.
into
Remember
reaches,
remember the shared understanding that you all have.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Dominic reaches into his pocket and pulls out this strange, waxy-looking thing that's actually an experimental plastic bag.
Oh.
Because we're in the 60s,
Yeah,
there's not
yeah,
much
yeah.
plastic.
No.
Experimental plastic bag, and just holds it, opens the top of it, and holds it towards where he thinks Sean might be walking.
Yes, to put the neurotoxin in the bag. That's good.
All right. So he's bought his own.
And that's his other
Shopping bag.
gear
piece of
item.
gear. Nice.
His
Got
Woolie's bag.
his Woolies bag that's impervious to neurotoxins.
It's great.
Might be.
Might be. No, it is.
I whispered to
Clearly is.
Dahlia quickly, "Hey, keep an eye out for that commie. He could be around."
I am.
I haven't got a paranoid. I haven't got a paranoid
Now,
condition, but I'm thinking about it.
are you going to? Okay, so you're all looking around at this point. Sean, you've grabbed the bag, but you've also made the bag go invisible, right? So I just want to reconfirm. But you didn't make yourself go invisible. You just made the bag go invisible.
No, because more
No,
than
that's
just the
all right.
bag would be too much.
Yep, that's fine. I'm just checking. Okay. She is super calm and very relaxed because that's how she feels.
Drugs.
Dahlia and Camilla and Keith, you see a whole bunch of people, and they're pretty obvious, right? Like for you guys are trained agents, right? But a whole bunch of people suddenly start to move towards you, and they look pretty like FBI, maybe something else.
So maybe the other three letters that are bad.
Yeah. The other three letters.
I meant the other three letters. I didn't mean the CIA.
Yeah.
I
No,
meant the
sure.
other letters.
Right.
And they're moving towards you. Keith, you've moved out of vision because, Sean, you've moved out because they don't realize that you've taken the bag. And Dominic, you know where you're following Sean is what I'm reading with your magic bag that you've got ready. Okay. Three of them get closer to you and pull out, start waving badges at you and yelling out that, hold on, what are you doing?
Was it a whole group of them or just a couple?
No, it's like there's like 10 of them.
That's really weird.
Yeah. And one of them is like looking at you guys going, and probably recognizes you, Dahlia, actually, because you're quite well known in the right circles. Hey, walks up to you and goes, "Hey, what are you doing interfering in our operation?"
Your operation. We were here first.
I back away while this is happening. I want to pretend I'm not part of this, and then I'm gonna. Once that happens, let me know.
Okay. Okay.
John Dixon, if I'm not mistaken.
What was his name?
John Dixon.
John Dixon. John Dixon's a classic.
What are you doing here, Dixon?
What do you mean? What am I doing it now? Do you want to roll? Do you have like a knowledge of you have a knowledge of security, don't you? Like all the special operations.
Yeah, my knowledge is security protocols and
in Washington.
Yeah.
But do you also have? Yeah, you've got contacts government. So
I do.
Do you want to roll your contacts government for me?
Yeah, I'll put 2 in that.
Okay.
2 successes, 3 successes. Oh my God.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. Jeez Christ, you guys are crashing. 3. Okay. So John Dixon works for a very specific organization. And the reason I mentioned that it's very specific is because it only has one job. So it is the Special Operations Division of the United States Biochemical Warfare Development
Right.
in Department of Defense.
Right.
And I just want to say,
Oh,
by
that
the way,
guy.
for historical accuracy, this is a real organisation that existed in the 1960s. So yeah, so John Dixon actually works for SOD.
Right. So he is a legitimate person doing his legitimate job.
Well, yes, but why he's doing it in the middle of a train station in Washington, D.C. might be a bit more complex to answer.
Correct.
Have I got out of sight yet, or some
Yeah,
away from the group?
you've moved away. Yep.
Yeah, just let me know when I can do
Oh,
it.
you're
Can I
gonna
check
do
something?
Yes, you can check something, Keith.
So, I'm sort of standing up to the side. I'm surveying the people that are sort of materialized,
Yep.
and effectively using my codes and ciphers skill.
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm looking for the kind of Hail Hydra indicators in this group, whether or not they are actually doing their job or they're doing their job.
Oh, I see. Oh well,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
make a.
So I'm going to put a 4 in that.
Wow.
I think that's
Okay.
my
What's the skill, Nick? Oh,
Codes
the
and
Codes and
ciphers.
ciphers, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also being interpreted at this point in time. What I like is not only are we adding points to it, but we're defining it
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't your mother's codes and ciphers. This is Hail Hydra codes and ciphers.
Hey, look,
That's
this
right.
is a good
Fuck's sake.
opportunity for me to pull my camera
Yeah.
out and start taking pictures.
I got
have a
2
press
successes.
badge.
Oh no, it's 4. I got 3
Ooh,
successes,
nice.
but I
You
got a
got
5,
three-
5, and a 6.
You got
Yeah,
3
so-
successes.
Yeah.
No, you unfortunately, perhaps considering your deep investment in this skill, discover that no, they do seem to be legitimately doing whatever it is they're doing. But you have the same question that Dahlia has, which is they're meant to protect biowarfare stuff, and they're meant to investigate the use of biowarfare stuff.
Not run experiments on
meant to-
Yes, that one. That
Yeah.
last one is definitely not what they're meant to be doing.
Look, there is a chance they were here to intercept her.
That's right. There is a
There is that
there is
slim
a
chance.
There is that slim chance.
Yes.
Anyway, camera
Bring on top
time.
of
Click.
it.
It's the press.
Oh,
I have
they
a
do
press
not-
badge.
are you
I-
actually taking photos of them?
Yes, I have a press badge on my character, like literally the
okay,
picture.
alright,
So I am
cool.
like I'm an investigative reporter for the Washington Post. If that existed, then I don't know.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
Washington
does,
Post's
yeah.
been around forever.
So I'm just taking pictures,
Yeah.
like what's going on here. I don't know what it is. Blah blah blah. I don't know if they've noticed me or anything. I'm just causing a ruckus so they can't quietly pack us away.
Nice. Okay. Well, they will. They will definitely want to deal with you and your camera in a second. But right now they're dealing with a much bigger problem as far as they're concerned. Okay, so I'm going to sort of just burbage for a sec because it's actually 11:15 our time, and I do need to get up and pretend I give a toss tomorrow morning. And it will be hard because it's Services Australia tomorrow morning, not fodder. I'm just saying. Sorry to all the Services Australia people I work with every day. So the short story is what you get out of John Dixon is that this was actually a test run, and the thing in the bag is meant to be a non-deadly but detectable agent. So it's actually a live fire experiment of how far the agent would spread. So it's got the same characteristics as the neurotoxin, but it's not actually neurotoxin.
Except
they are.
Except that it is
Except
against
that
black
somebody
people.
switched the bag.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes, funnily enough, they're not running that experiment in the middle of upper class New
New
York.
York.
Whatever. Wonder why that is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Quite interesting.
So, and you can analyze the drug and recognize that, the agent, and any bit of analysis quickly identifies that this is actually really fucking deadly as hell, highly virulent, highly spreadable, aerosol delivered neurotoxin that's been put into a device.
Did the Ruskies do a swapperini?
So what I'm gonna do, and it's funny because we said, one session, but it's just I want to have a 10-minute conversation about how you felt the game went, and then I want to call it. So
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good. Let's do it.
So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll pause it there. We may come back. I can't do it in a fortnight because I'll be coming back from Kyabram for various reasons, and that's a 7.5-hour drive, which is not the sort of thing one wants to game straight after. But we will do a second session in the not too distant future.
Yes, sweet.
To sort of
Lovely.
unravel the rest of the conspiracy.
You didn't expect us to spend 55 minutes in the train.
No, no, I think it was I blame myself for providing the MacGuffin of the two assassins, and then the incredible level of investment in the two assassins that you established.
This is like that meme on the internet where it's like there's a guy in the corner with a dark hat and sitting in the tavern stroking his magical beard. Oh yeah, is there anyone else? There's a goblin in the corner. Everyone spends the session talking to the goblin.
Goblin the Goblin.
Yep.
Goblin is a great guy.
Yeah.
Always a fan.
All right. So, okay. So what I was going to ask for, because we're playtesting. Well, we're sort of playtesting something, and it's good to give feedback. So what I would like, I'm going to ask each of you just a really simple question, right? So, and you don't have to feel like you're obligated to answer, but I think it's good for Craig. It's good for people listening. So Tom, would you play this game again?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you a quick 10-second sort of review. I really like that it worked. It's designed, in my opinion, for the maybe 1.5 session things. And in that regard, it works really well because there's a very clear economy of stuff. And so when in a game where like say a traditional game where you might have potions and stuff that you're actually using your 2 future sites and deciding when to fire those. You're using your premonitions to reroll stuff. You're using your allocated skills as things that you get to use and build your character as you go. I think that's really cool and interesting, and it gives you a lot of flexibility and makes you sort of more invested because, as you said at the start, it's not just a pre-gen character where you get what you get.
Yeah. Rob?
Yeah, I'd agree with a lot of what Tom said. It's an interesting mechanism to be able to basically assess what you are going to use at a particular time. And yes, I'm still sitting on my 4 skill, expecting that there's going to be a big fight or a big moment or something that I will have to pull this out of the bag. But having said that, other players have said, this is really important for my character to be able to do this. I'm going to put the 4 on it early. And the results have been really good. I do like the mechanism that you can actually just inject new things into the story, even though it might stretch out the GM's plan a little bit. It may
that's the risk, right? You got to
gives you a bit more option to play with. So I quite like it actually. Yeah.
Nice. Jason?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's awesome. I really love it. For one thing, it's getting my note-taking skills. it's testing them. I'm at 2.5 pages so far. So
wow.
Yeah.
I got 1 piece of paper with some notes on it for the next.
I've got this first page was the initial vision and everything that we saw in the initial vision. Then I've got the beginning of the game and where we ended here.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was going through and editing things as we went. It's a lot of fun. I like the investigation aspect of it and trying to figure out. I like the whole making up your vision aspect. And
the start is very cool. Putting that together.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I really love that. Yeah.
And it allows for some inaccuracies because we all just seeing through the mist and stuff.
Jess, I'm gonna. So would you play it again? But could you reflect, because you actually went to town on the powers and the supernatural abilities. So how do you think that works specifically?
It was really good. I really liked the pre-made character, that there was enough there to spark my curiosity, but not enough to be constraining. And I mean, like shamanism and herbalism and traditional medicine are things that I'm really interested in for myself. So I kind of like jumped right in and did some pre-reading and things to kind of get a feel for that. And I really enjoyed doing that. So it's like I got to have fun before the game even started. Yeah.
Nice.
I did like the question, like each character, like each player getting like a particular thing to focus on. Again, I did some pre-research about like different kinds of chemical weapons. I really hope that didn't create an ASIO flag for me.
Look, it's okay. I once walked straight through the front doors of the Iranian embassy to get a copy of the Quran, so I figure just join me on the list.
Yeah.
I've watched Secret City.
So like
They're all on the list.
I felt like there was there's playing the game, which is I've really enjoyed this session, but I had fun before I even got here by just like reading about things that I'm interested in to do with my character. And I really enjoyed being able to actually find a way to like bring that information into the game and kind of like bring a bit more richness to it. So I think there's just like so much room here for collaborative storytelling, which I always love. And I think probably this is a game for more experienced GMs like yourself who can like really think on the fly of like how to deal with whatever your crazy characters throw at you. But I do, yeah, and again, like everybody else, I'm actually really enjoying this, like make your character as you go
Yeah, it's a nice
mechanism.
mechanic.
That is really nice.
It's a super nice mechanic.
Yeah.
All right, Paul.
Yeah, what everyone said. I mean, I've had a bit of a busy week, so I ended up cramming yesterday. That's why I didn't make any posts because I've just been too busy. The rules, super easy to pick up. You know, it is nice to have a system that you can get a lot of fun out of without having to read tomes of rules. So I basically crammed the rules yesterday. I read through them 2 or 3 times yesterday and set up. The flexibility is good. I think probably the question I raised at the start about when you use your power, where does that spend come from? It feels natural that it's your specialist, but perhaps some clarity in the rules about that would be good. I completely agree with what Jeff said about the pre-made character still giving you scope to shape it as you wanted. And from my point of view, I got to play Walter Bishop, which works.
Walter Bishop, yes. I love that show.
Great.
Oh my god, I love that show.
I just finished watching the series again for the 5th time.
As long as you didn't piss yourself or get an erection, you're fine.
But no, I think it's a good system. And yeah, like Jeff said, I think if you're an experienced GM, I think it's a difficult game to GM because you do need to think on the fly. Because we can, with the knowledges, I think as a GM, you need people to be specific about what they're doing and bracket that, which is what I've tried to do. And I think what the others have tried to do. Otherwise, that could completely explode the game. I could have said, well, actually, psychic abilities, we all know everything everybody else knows. And that would have just ruined the game, in my opinion, which is why I tried to be specific about what it really is from that sense. But no, it's a good game. I want to play it again.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. Nick, last but certainly not least.
Definitely play again. It's very much the essence of the yes but. Oh, sorry, not yes but, yes and. Yes and. It's the that's a great idea, and this is what happens, right? It's that. So you feel as a player that you've got a lot of sort of influence, and you're empowered to do stuff, right? So for example, like in the way I wanted to play that character, it allowed me to do that. Like I was able to run and hide and get and then drag this guy off, right? And I was able to there was no kind no, you can't do that. And I really prefer that kind of game style. I really didn't understand the difference between mental and physical. Specialist and mental and physical. I'm not sure, and that's maybe just a rule I didn't understand. I mean, I think I did less prep than Paul.
I was actually using the different points where, like, on those two tracks, you will get a vision of the future depending on which one you hit. And so, since we were just using them whenever we could, I was kind of using that a little bit as just trying to game it so that I could get a vision.
Yeah, look, maybe. I mean, for me, it would just be have it in a single path, right?
Yeah.
Have your 11 points, have one at 4 and then one at 6, or however you want to.
I think the difference that it represents, just to comment on that. So two things. One, we're using the basic playtest pack, not the rules, right? So the rules will probably answer all these questions. I'm sure Craig's done all of this stuff. Poor guy's been thinking about it for 7 years or something. I'm sure he's managed to find out. But the other thing I'd say is I think the decision around premonitions, 1 to 6 for specialist and 1 to 5 for mental physical is quite deliberate, because the specialist is what you're really good at. And so you get the ability to have extra bonus successes against that, as opposed to physical, mental, which are sort of generic. Well, not generic, but not your specialization, right? So which is why I thought as we played it, I moved away from thinking you have to burn specialist to use your premonitions, to use your superpower, to use your real power. Because actually that was burning the thing that was actually your special resource on the side. Congratulations, Jason.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Kickstarter.
Yep, I just got the pop-up on the other screen. Cephalopod has been successfully funded. Woo,
well done.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. I've just paid you.
Where's my copy?
Yeah.
When's it coming through?
When's it coming? Everyone on when's my $10 copy coming? All right. Anyway, that's a different podcast that Jason can deal with later. So I'll just give my last 2 bits and then we'll close the game for tonight. As a GM, I think it's excellent. I love it.
You didn't have